Hello everybody and welcome to my NXT review tonight. Basically I kicked off this show first, especially after what happened last week. And this show is live. I decided to watch NXT first again this week. And a lot has been going on, especially I'm sure there's been a lot of news throughout the entire day, or some would say release day, since multiple releases from the WWE today. And it could be more. I'm not sure if it will be, but it could be more. I'm not really going to go over them right now because I did a separate video about that. It should be posted online at this point about of all who was released today. So I'm only probably going to go over one since it does have to do with this show tonight. But like I said, I gave my thoughts on everybody that was released today, which especially during this whole pandemic and everything, which I could figure out what's behind this and everything. But you know, I've said before, WWE looks like they got to cut costs on a lot of big things right now. They must be losing that much money. I know a lot of people don't agree with what's going on, especially during this pandemic. But I think some people have to look at this from a business perspective also. I'm not saying it's right, especially with a lot of people that was released. Some I feel like should have been gone from this company a long time ago, which I was surprised they even still worked in this company, which even I've said some of these people that were released basically became dead weight, or of course underutilized, but some I'm surprised still had a job. But you know, during this whole pandemic, it's hard to find any other type of job right now, especially if you're released right here, and there's no indies going on right now too. So it looks like some people have to fend for themselves, or if they're furloughed, they can still get their job back, I believe. But like I said, I went on a whole video about it and the people that were released, because I got many different opinions on what I said, because there's some people I'm surprised I still had a job, like, you know, the Colognes or Mike Bennett, or people I'm just surprised have just been sitting around and doing nothing the entire time. But you can get my full detail about that. But you know, like I said, it doesn't make it right, but someone brought up to me today, you got to look at this from a business perspective, too, to why all this happened. I'm sure there's more details coming out about this. Could there be more releases? I don't know. We will find that tomorrow or two, but obviously, if it can happen to WWE, it possibly could happen to other wrestling companies, too, as others have said today. So don't really count them as the only ones going on right now. But, like I said, check out the video for that. It is uploaded right now about my thoughts on the recent WWE releases out of today. Because if I did it on this video, we would probably be talking a half an hour about that. And I'd rather just keep it separate. So NXT, though, tonight we do kick it off live with Finn Balor back in the building. I guess he's still going after Walter for the UK title, but obviously Walter is not here in the US right now, which I don't think he likes to come to the US anyways, but let's see if they can ever get him over here. He basically went against one of Imperium, Fabian Aichner. Marcel Bartel was with him. Very good match, especially for you know, a big showcase for Balor. Aichner's really good out there, I will say that, so don't count him out also. Balor taking some really hard shots to the body, I will say. You get to see the marks on him after this match, but of course, Bartel is going to get involved to go after Balor. Balor ended up taking him down with a sling blade and then a big shotgun drop kick, knocking him over the barricade, or knocking the barricade over with him, I should say, to the ground. Aichner got in and did his tightrope moonsault, but missed. Balor ended up hitting the shotgun drop kick, then the coup de grace, and ended off with the 1916 or the Bloody Sunday, whatever you want to call it. Balor get the win, pretty much still saying he's still coming after Walter. He does not know when it could happen, but he's going to get Walter sooner or later. So Balor still got this face heel or tweener thing going on, since, you know, Imperium are heels, but Balor's kind of like both going on. So that was going to go down. We got a sit-down interview with Charlotte then, which Charlotte pretty much say, you know, she's done everything and she backs up everything she says. Basically talking about what she's done in her career in under the past 5 years. And that, you know, Ripley was the future and whatnot, but Charlotte says she is the past, the present, and the future. And basically gave you a history lesson of what she has done in this company. Of, you know, beating Natalya to become the NXT Women's Champion, beating Nikki Bella's longest title reign to have the Divas Champion, beating Trish Stratus coming back, tapping out, beating all the 4 horsewomen, going through people, the best of the best. Oh, I wouldn't call them all the best, but going through people like Bliss, Naomi, Carmella, several people, okay? Beating Paige when she was at her peak. Just going through multiple names, who took Ronda Rousey to the limit, making her a broken woman. Beating Asuka's undefeated streak, taking her out. But yes, like I said, taking Asuka to the limit. Taking down Asuka's undefeated streak, like I just said. But she pretty much going through all those people, and now there's a new generation. She sees all these people in NXT right now, what they've done, and she gives them credit for what they did, Survivor Series and everything. But now, you know, there's a lot of people. She's already gone through Rhea Ripley. She knows Io Shirai is going to be the next person sooner or later. She sees a lot of competition in the game for NXT, like Candice LeRae. But the person she wants to wrestle the most is Mia Yim. And why Mia Yim? Because Mia Yim was Charlotte's first opponent in NXT back then. And she said, you know, she's going to take care of Yim. She's being generous right now. So she's going to take out everybody. She's going to run through everybody in NXT and prove why she is going to be the best of the past, the present, and the future. So, great promo. I would say that. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Charlotte being on this show in general, or just being the NXT Women's Champion at all. Basically, some say this is the boost ratings or whatnot for NXT, but that was good. That was a very good promo, which I gotta say, Charlotte's got a lot of accomplishments of being, 11-time champion in under 5 years. But that is, when you think about a good record of who she's beaten and what she has done, I should say, like I said, going from all the way from the past of winning the NXT Women's title the first time and getting the Divas title, taking Paige at her limit. Well, taking Paige when she was at her limit, the peak of Paige, beating all the 4 horsewomen, or tapping them all out, or taking down Asuka's undefeated streak, taking Rousey to the limit, and taking out Ripley, and just taking about who she wants to face next in NXT. So that was a good promo they had with Charlotte on there. Next, Xia Li, I keep saying Xia Li sometimes. Xia Li went against Aaliyah. Not much of a match, I should say. It was okay. Leah can never catch a break, even when she's gone for a long time and come back. Can never get a win some way or whatnot. And I guess since she took out Xia Li not that long ago, Xia Li ended up hitting that spinning kick she does, which even look brutal when you hear the sound of the kick hitting somebody. But yeah, Leah can never catch a break. Gone because of a broken nose, come back, still ain't got a win yet. Still doesn't have a win. Next, though, we get the Cruiserweight title tournament, since Jordan Devlin is in the UK and cannot defend the title due to what's going on right now, which doesn't make a lot of sense to do a tournament, but obviously we have to fill time. We're doing this Cruiserweight tournament. Basically, this tournament is like the G1 or the best of the Super Juniors if you see New Japan, okay? Because there's a Group A and a Group B to who are in both of these brackets. Because Group A, I believe, you have, I know it's Group B tonight, but Group B, I know it's Swerve. I'm trying not to call him Strickland nowadays. Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, and El Hijo de Fantasma. I didn't know he was signed with the company. I forgot he was. I'm going to get into him later. But, Group A, I believe, I'm trying to remember everybody that was in this tournament. But Group A has, Kushida. Wow, I'm trying to remember everybody in this tournament. I think Tony Nese is in this tournament. Spud, Drake Maverick, which I'm gonna get into him later on because I got a couple more things to say about him in this, but I know they went through everybody in this tournament, but basically this is it's like the best of the Super Juniors. It's a round robin style tournament. Basically the person with the most points will face in the finals to determine who will become the new Cruiserweight champion, okay? But I'm trying to, what else they had. I think that's everyone in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. I may be forgetting the name, because I don't think I named all the Group A's guys. Was it Tony Nese, Kushida? I think Spud is in Group A. I'm forgetting who else was in the tournament. I don't know why. I can't remember all the names off the bat for some reason, but yeah, I'm a little stumped right now. I don't remember all the names in this tournament. Sorry, but we did kick it off with Group B though, between like I said, Tozawa and Swerve. Good match. Very good match, especially for this tournament. I was a little surprised that Swerve lost, but then I have to remember Tozawa did lose that match on Monday. Tozawa did end up getting the win over Swerve with that big senton he does in the air. But a very good match, though. I'm going to start Swerve was going to win with that Dragon Sleeper on him. But this was a very good match, though. They interviewed Tozawa after the match. It says what he has to do. He says he's going to keep fighting. He's going to keep winning, and he will be the Cruiserweight champion again, since I think he only had the title for a week. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't watch 205 Live, so I can't really comment on it that much, okay? But like I said, very, very good match between both of them. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of more great matches as this tournament goes on, okay? So, yeah, Tozawa getting the win right here, basically because he lost on Monday, so he got the win here. They also interviewed El Hijo del Fantasma, also known as King Cuerno, if you've seen Lucha Underground. He was a bounty hunter on there, or cowboy, if I remember. But they did a whole interview about him, talking about what he has done, his family, how his father was a luchador. I know he was from AAA. And he had a suit on too when he was cutting his promo. Also, almost like a professional out there. Could he be behind about the Ninja Luchadors attacking people? I don't know, but he is in this tournament. And El Hijo del Fantasma is really good. I have seen his matches. Like I said, I've seen him in Lucha Underground, and I did see him in Impact when he wrestled there. And I've seen a couple of his AAA matches too. So good signing on them. I forgot when he was signed, but like I said, I forgot he was in this company until tonight, or when he was read off for this tournament. But next we got a feud I wish would end already that I'm sick of. Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai, but Tegan Nox ended up going against Raquel Gonzalez. The match was alright. Of course, Dakota Kai was going to get involved, and Shotzi Blackheart kind of came out and hit Dakota Kai with her helmet. Then Gonzalez grabbed her and was going to choke slam her, but Tegan Nox ended up rolling her up then for the win, which, protects Gonzalez, since it's going to be a tag team match now next week with her and Kai versus Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. But I'm surprised this feud is even still going. I was never a big fan of this feud anyways to begin with, but I just don't need to see it anymore for some reason, because I never was that big of this. I called them wannabe Gargano and Ciampa, okay? I've always called them that. Wannabe Gargano and Ciampa, but I don't even know where this feud is going off, or whatever rubber match is next out of all this. I thought the cage would have been the last thing, but they still want to keep this feud going on for some reason. But yeah, the match was okay. Tegan Nox got the roll-up win, so it's whatever. They then went to Keith Lee interview, or like a small documentary, talking about how Keith Lee got to NXT. He talked about his journey started a long time ago when he was 5 years old, how his grandma got him into pro wrestling, because, he always watched people from the Von Erichs and the Freebirds, but it was Macho Man that had him hooked in, and talked about how his parents didn't like him being into wrestling, and he even left everything, even football, and that he took his own car. We didn't steal his parents' car, but he stole his own car just to travel 5 hours for a match with Mick Foley on the Indies. And when he came back, he got kicked out of his own house. He was homeless for a second, but he talked about he put in work for the past 13 15 years, grinding, hustling, and getting all the way to where he is right now into WWE, and talked about his matches with Dijak there, and what he did at Survivor Series against Roman, and talked about his first title in the WWE, the North American Championship, and it was full circle when he was even talking to Mick Foley then, of how he came up, and it was two things he could have done. He could have gave up, or just keep grinding, overcome, and to where he is right now to be limitless. So, yes, good on Keith Lee. Good promo documentary they did with him. Very good. Next, Sam Shaw. I'm sorry. Dexter Loomis, they're calling him now. I'm still looking at this guy as Sam Shaw, but yeah, he's Dexter Loomis. He went against Tahuti Miles. Another showcase for Loomis here. Psychopath. He has to look like killer. And I know Miles got a couple drop kicks on him, but Loomis hit him with a spine buster and then hit him in the Anaconda Vice and just stared into the screen looking crazy as usual. Okay? They were going to get to Adam Cole, who was supposed to be here tonight, but he was at his pool again. Not showing up here. He says, "You think I'm going to be here tonight?" And nope. And I'm not showing up here. I'm trying to protect reality and that nobody in WWE deserves to get a shot at his NXT title right now, and that it is one of the most important things in the world. And right now that the Undisputed Era are going to get back the tag team titles tonight. But then we went to The Dream. As he came out, there was a podium for him. And Adam Cole was just sitting at home playing video games. That's all he does. And talk about he's trying to be, that Cole thinks he's some mastermind and a leader, but he's not. And that Cole may be the last remaining champion. The very last, he says. He'll be the last one. But he's going to take that title from him. You may be the longest, not that I said last, but the longest reigning champion. But you may have it in lymph, but he's going to take that title from him. And it's going to be 2 words. Baby, dream over. But Finn Balor showed up out of nowhere there for some reason, which I guess he's now a heel at this point. Again, even though he's kind of like being a tweener against, Walter and all of them. But Balor pretty much says, I don't know you. I don't like you. I've never said a word to you. But when you talk about who's the best NXT champion of all time, you're looking at him. So you need to get your facts straight and stop saying ignorant comments, or you're going to get a date with the Prince. And his Dream pretty much looked at him. He says, really? A date with the Prince? How about you pick me up next week at 7? All right? And he snapped his fingers, and his music hit. So, good promo from Dream, and even Balor showing up, since I guess they got to give Balor something else to do right now, because we don't know when Walter or when that NXT UK title match is ever going to happen. So, they got to keep Finn Balor busy. So, hey, I'm supposed to be the greatest NXT champion. I got to prove it around here, and that you shouldn't be saying that to anybody else but me. So I guess we got to keep him busy and put Finn against Dream. So looking forward to that match when it happens. They went over the Cruiserweight title matches for next week. And is the person they said, the one that has the most to prove is Rockstar Spud or Drake Maverick. Which is true. Which, I thought about this in the past few hours. And I said this in the video also. Because, yes, Spud is released from this company. But I kind of found it strange he still gets to be in this tournament and wrestle right now. I thought they would have just at least replaced the guy with somebody else, but they're keeping him in this tournament for some reason, because at first I'm like, and I saw the video he put out, and it's very emotional, because like I said even before, like, this guy lost his job. He's thinking about how he's even going to make it to his next meal, or feed his family, or just take care of himself basically if he has no job right now, his dream job and everything. But he does have something to prove, because I thought he would have just been replaced. And I kind of thought about this. So basically, Spud is going to have to put on the best matches of his life right now throughout this entire tournament, okay? Now, it would be crazy if this guy ends up winning the whole thing, and I'm sure some people say, oh, well, maybe this will work. This is not a work, okay? Because these releases are real, all right? But in a way, Spud is basically, he has to wrestle for his life. He's wrestling for his job. So in a way, if he can, maybe somehow, some way, if he does that great in this entire tournament, maybe he could still keep his job. And I'm just taking a guess on that right now. I'm not saying, okay, if he does that good, Vince will hire him back, or Triple H will take pity on him and just keep him in NXT and somehow be able to keep his job. That's one of the 2 things I could see happening, because I'm surprised he's even still in this tournament. He's released from the company, but he still gets to wrestle throughout this whole thing. But basically, he has to wrestle for his life now if he can even have a chance of keeping his job. Okay? Because I said it even in the video I put out, like, okay, Spud's released. I would like to see him EC3 back together and, Impact again. They had a great group. But since Spud is still going to be in this tournament, in a way he's released, but he still may have a chance to keep his job. So, when they said he has the most to prove, that's legitimately true. Now, it'd be crazy if this was some big story, and it almost is some, I'm not saying this is a storyline because this is legit, but basically this guy has to wrestle for his life, and the only way he could do it is win the Cruiserweight title to still keep his job. That would be a big storyline, but this is not a storyline, okay? So, I don't know what's going to happen with Spud throughout this entire tournament, okay? But right now, he's got to wrestle for his life if he's going to keep his job, or he's going to end up like everybody else, which he's already released. So, in a way, this tournament may give him a second chance right now. He's basically on a second chance. And don't get me wrong, the guy's done what he's done in his company. He's been pretty hilarious throughout this, too. I don't know what he's really done on 205 Live, but, he has been funny in that whole 24/7 and, his hot wife and everything also. But right now, like I said, technically this tournament is like his last lifeline right now. So, looking at that video, you got to feel for the guy. But it's just a little strange. He's released, but he still gets to wrestle this entire tournament, though. So, I don't know. That's a little odd in a way. But, like I said, this guy is basically wrestling for his life right now. So, that's what he's got to do if he's going to keep his job in the company. Or maybe if he does that great enough, he will keep his job. So, like I said, he's in a way, this tournament is like a last lifeline for him right now. Because I've said it before, we don't know who else is going to get released. But I wanted to say that about the whole, Drake Maverick Spud thing, since they said he has a lot to prove right now. He has a lot to prove, okay? Because he's on his last lifeline. All right? But moving on from that, Undisputed Era came out. I actually thought it was Red Dragon with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, but it's not both of them. We got Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. They said Kyle O'Reilly is... Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, I'm sorry. Kyle O'Reilly is... I guess on medical leave, or he's injured right now, and they had to go against the tag team champions, Matt Riddle, and since Pete Dunne is stuck in the UK, we got Timothy Thatcher. I was surprised to see that. Timothy Thatcher, I believe he was signed not that long ago. I don't know a lot about Timothy Thatcher. I've seen a couple of his matches and stuff he did in MLW a little, and he's really good, but a very good match between them in Undisputed Era. The guy can throw the hell out of people, I will say that. They talked about a lot of his ground game. Thatcher, very brawl, very, like I said, very mat-based going against Undisputed Era. I did like when they both hit the gut wrenches. Him and Riddle hit a gut wrench at the same time, and then he did he flipped Riddle over to kind of do like that corkscrew thing he did. For some reason, they had Dexter Loomis there looking at Undisputed Era for some reason from afar, just like with a light held over him and just staring death into them for some reason. But like I said, Undisputed Era was about to go for total elimination. Excuse me. They're gonna go for total elimination, but it did not work on Thatcher. Pete Dunne ended up spearing Bobby Fish. Like I said before, Fish, not Riddle, but what happened? Riddle hit Fish with a knee, and Strong ended up hitting Riddle with a knee. Then Timothy Thatcher ended up putting in Roderick Strong in a Fujiwara armbar for the win, immediate tap out. So Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher still hold the tag team titles, which I guess he's going to be a temporary tag team champion for a while until Pete Dunne ever gets back. But good debut for Timothy Thatcher. Good debut for him. So, and like I say, he still gets to be part of he's the tag team champions right now at Matt Riddle. So, good tag match. I don't even remember how Undisputed Era even got another title shot, to be honest. But, I don't know what's next for them, but we'll see what happens with those guys. But before we ended this show off tonight, we went to Tommaso Ciampa, talking about how he's done with Johnny Gargano, he's done with Candice LeRae, And he's congratulated Gargano for being the better man and everything. He said he's done with all this. But next thing you know, someone grabbed him from behind and they beat him up off camera. Next thing you see Ciampa's face on the ground and a boot showed up near his head. And who shows up? Killer Kross in his suit. I'm sure that was Scarlett Bordeaux's foot right by him. And he said, tick-tock. So I guess we'll get the battle of who's the bigger psychopath between Killer Kross and Tommaso Ciampa next. So Killer Kross is going to go after one of these guys, and I guess it was going to be Ciampa and not Gargano. So I guess Gargano has finally moved on from Ciampa, and Ciampa's going to be ended up going against Killer Kross right now, with Scarlett Bordeaux being right there. So the battle of the psychopaths shall begin, okay? But a very good episode of NXT tonight. Really good. Everything that went down. From a lot of good matches to, Balor being there. Even kind of going for Dream next. I guess that's going to happen sooner or later. He's going to be going after the Dream. The sit-down interviews between Charlotte and Keith Lee were pretty good. Timothy Thatcher making his debut was good with Matt Riddle to go against the Undisputed Era for the titles. Killer Kross showing up, to attack Ciampa, which I feel like a lot of feuds are being set up right now. And maybe, Sam Shaw right there is going after Undisputed Era next. Of course, we got the Cruiserweight title tournament going on right now. And, in a very good match between Swerve and Tozawa tonight. And, we showed about who El Hijo de Fantasma was. A lot of things. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot going on next week. Like I said before, Spud's basically wrestling for his life right now. And we'll see what goes on with that next week. But a very good episode of NXT. Probably a better one than it was last week. I know it was a takeover last week. But very good episode, though, I will say. Really good. But we'll see what happens next week from all this. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this show tonight. Follow me on Twitter at Hoodie9890. Check out my other video to hear my thoughts on the releases from earlier today. And we'll see what happens from there. But other than that, comment, subscribe. I think I've said that already. Follow me on Twitter at Hoodie9890. I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace out.